At the very beginning, we witness Sungyun requesting Arya to sign the contract. The system swiftly announces that, due to the agreement, the subordinate contract has now been established. This means that Tier 4 Apostle Arya will never be able to exceed the limits of her subordinate relationship. Arya, taken aback, exclaims in awe, "To be granted this grace, which increases my stats by 14. Truly incredible. This generosity reminds me of the God of Darkness. Such power." Sungyun then shifts focus and says, "There's something I need you to do for me." His tone is calm but purposeful as he asks her to treat Catherine, a fellow companion. However, Arya, with a tinge of regret in her voice, replies, "Unfortunately, Sungyun, I am unable to treat this prospective apostle. She is suffering from divine fever caused by descent." Sungyun, concerned, probes further, asking about the divine fever, and Arya clarifies, "Those with lower physical abilities cannot withstand divinity when descent is applied to them, and as a result, they suffer from a high fever. She won't be able to open her eyes for an entire week." Concern lines Sungyun's face as he mutters, "If that's true, then this isn't good at all." Arya's voice turns serious as she warns him of the broader dangers. "Sungyun, you are also in danger. Since you possess more than 2 fragments of the Holy Grail, other camps will soon target you. And that means your comrades will also be at risk." In an instant, Sungyun leaps into action, leaving both Catherine and Arya behind. Arya calls out after him, "Where are you going?" But Sungyun, already in motion, only instructs her to protect Catherine and follow after him. His mind races as he thinks, "I had forgotten in the heat of battle." The fact that Catherine is unconscious must mean the barrier where Sunghun and Chunsuk were stationed has been broken. That means they could be targets now. Sungyun arrives at the scene only to be greeted by a gruesome sight. Many dead players lie scattered across the battlefield. Chungwoo, observing the scene grimly, remarks, "These players' conditions are worse than expected." The situation grows even more dire as Sunghun and Chunsuk are discovered gravely injured, their movements hindered by their wounds. Arya assesses the situation and quickly determines this was a poison-based attack. It seems they were struck by enemies using poison weapons. Though they managed to fend off many foes, the poison eventually overwhelmed them. The attackers likely waited for an opportunity, knowing you were away. A surge of anger washes over Sungyun at the sight of his comrades suffering. But Arya, always calm and logical, reassures him, "Don't worry. This type of poison can be cured fully within a few months. For now, the best course of action would be to return them to Earth by draining all their HP." Sungyun, still brimming with anger but trying to regain his composure, responds, "Understood." The system confirms his action. Sunghun and Chunsuk have lost all their HP and are now returning to their original world. Arya, always watchful, then informs him, "Since your comrades have been sent away, you should prepare yourself for the next battle. Several challengers are approaching as we speak." Sungyun, working swiftly, thinks to himself, "Let me grind up all the useless items I've gathered and convert them into divine power. All right, I'm done. This should help." The system, in its usual monotone, announces, "Conditions satisfied. 11 of the 20 deity camps have lost their fragment of the Holy Grail. The camp holding more than 10 fragments will receive the Holy Grail. Activation is imminent." As the Holy Grail's power begins to manifest, the Transcendence Camp's deity, despite being of a low class, meets the conditions necessary for special authority. The system declares, deities with a low soul class will temporarily gain the authority, deification, and incarnation physique. The divine authority deification has been unlocked for the 7th floor stage. Sungyun feels a sense of satisfaction, realizing he has achieved deification with surprising ease. But the system continues its announcements. The awkward god of deterioration, the clumsy god of observation, and the false god of misery have bestowed upon Sungyun the special authority, incarnation physique. His location is now visible to all camps. Confusion fills Sungyun's thoughts as he muses, "Incarnation physique? This is the first time I've encountered it. What exactly does it do? And why are they so obsessed with finding me?" Arya, however, is quick to voice her anger. How dare these insignificant minor gods try to toy with Sir Sungyun? If you command me, I will eliminate every last one of those pathetic challengers rushing toward you. As the players begin to close in on Sungyun, the system issues another alert. Challenger Regbik has been chosen as the apostle of the deterioration camp and has been granted a fragment of the Holy Grail. Regbik, filled with determination, declares, "For the great god of deterioration, we will punish the bastard Sungyun." They look up to the sky and see the moon, but it's not just any moon. The system explains, the special authority, miserable moonlight full of lies, is inflicting deep sorrow on the targeted enemies. The eerie moonlight casts its curse over the players, causing their tears to fall uncontrollably. The system details the consequences. When targeted enemies feel sadness due to this special authority, their life force will be drained. Regbik, too, is affected, his tears streaming as his strength fades. Another special authority, the gaze of an observer who looks down on everything, reduces all abilities by 10. The system then announces, the awkward god of deterioration is urging his forces to march forward, despite the cost. Regbik, on the brink of collapse, pleads, "If we continue, we'll die." The god of deterioration, however, shows no mercy, calling them expendable. Regbik, resigned, replies, "I understand." The system suddenly declares, the skill, Holy Light, has been activated. In a blinding flash, everything around them begins to crumble as Sungyun unleashes devastating power. The system reports the aftermath. 17 members of the deterioration camp, 11 members of the observation camp, and 14 members of the misery camp have been killed. Sungyun smirks, thinking, by debuffing them with moonlight, the accuracy of Holy Light increased. Grinding the items from the corrupt fairy stage gave me moonlight. It's truly a game changer. Realizing the threat Sungyun poses, the system announces, the awkward god of deterioration, the clumsy god of observation, and the false god of misery have vowed to join forces in order to eliminate Sungyun. Chungwoo, his voice filled with concern, warns, "It seems they've realized they need to unite their strength. You'll have to face 3 minor gods now, so be on guard." Sungyun nods, acknowledging the challenge. I know. 3 players, embodying the gods, appear before him. The god of deterioration snarls, "How arrogant! I'll show you just how insignificant you truly are." The god of observation adds, "You're a deity, and yet you've entered this maze? How did you manage that?" Finally, the god of misery chimes in. "So this is the candidate chosen by the tower? This is clearly a violation of authority." Sungyun sizes them up, noting their doll-like appearances. It seems incarnation physique doesn't involve descending into a human body. Instead, they've transferred their souls into dolls that resemble them. He grins mockingly. "I thought incarnation physique would be something awe-inspiring, but it turns out you're just puppets. How utterly pathetic." Infuriated, the 3 gods leap into action, lunging at Sungyun. He swiftly jumps off a nearby cliff, with the gods hot on his heels. As they close in, Sungyun reflects, even though it's only incarnation physique, gods are still gods. Facing 3 of them at once won't be easy. This is the end of the video. Subscribe to see what happens next.